This is lesson 1-5 on solving simple inequalities. So we're going to distribute, to solve this first problem, distribute the 7 here, and we'll have 49a minus 63 is less than or equal to 84. Our next step will add 63 on both sides, and that will give us 49a is less than or equal to 147. And then to finish, we're going to divide both sides by 49. And that will give us a is less than or equal to 3. Now I want to remind you that the equal to part there means that we want all the numbers less than or equal to 3. So that means we're going to fill in the circle. That's the end point of the ray that we'll use to graph. So for our graph, we're going to have on this number line, they did not put any negative signs. Let me stick those negative signs in there. To the left of 0, there should be negative numbers. A less than or equal to 3 is an open circle on 3, and we're shading to the left because we want numbers that are smaller than or equal to 3. Now we're filling in the circle because of the equal to. That covers up the number 3. If the variable, so in the solution here, if the variable is on the left side, then the inequality symbol points where you're going to shade. Okay, if the variable is on the right side of the inequality, that wouldn't be the case. So you want to make sure that you put your variable in that form, that your solution in that form, if you want it to point in the direction that you're going to be doing the shading. Okay, next problem. Distributing the 3, we'll have 27z plus 12 is greater than 35z minus 4. Alright, so subtracting 27z on both sides. You could subtract the 35z if you prefer, or you could add the 4 in the next step. You don't have to do it in this order, but that would give us 12 is greater than 12z minus 14. Oh, I'm sorry, not 12. 8z minus 14. 12 is greater than 8z minus 4, and then adding 4 on both sides. We have 16 is greater than 8z, and then dividing both sides by 8, we have 2 is greater than z. Now again, if you want to be able to have the arrow point in the direction of the shading, you'd have to flip that around and read it backwards. That says z is less than 2. Again, I'll put the negative signs on the number line here. And so z less than 2 means open circle on 2, and then we're shading to the left. So we want all the numbers that are smaller than 2, not including 2. All right, continuing, the next problem will distribute and have 60 minus 15n is less than 165. Subtract 60 on both sides will give us negative 15n is less than 105. Now, we're dividing both sides by negative 15. I hope you remember that that's a special situation because we're dividing by a negative number. If you multiply or divide an inequality by a negative number, you must flip the inequality symbol. So it's multiplying or dividing and it's only when you're multiplying or dividing by a negative. Okay, so that's going to flip the symbol, which would make this n is greater than negative 7. And again, these numbers should be negative to the left of 0, so there's negative signs there. It would be n is an open circle on negative 7, and we want shading to the right because we want numbers that are greater than negative 7. All right, and then our last problem, 18 minus 4k is less than, distributing there, be 2k plus 42. So I think I'll add 4k on both sides to get the coefficient positive. 18 is less than 6k plus 42. And then subtracting 42 on both sides makes that negative 24 is less than 6k. And then I'm dividing both sides by 6. Now, does the symbol flip signs? No, because we are dividing, but we're dividing by a positive number. So negative 4 is less than k. Again, that means if we read it backwards, it would be k is greater than negative 4. So on negative 4, we have an open circle, and we're shading to the right because we want the numbers that are bigger than negative 4. Okay, so again, remember that if you multiply or divide an inequality by a negative number, then you have to flip the inequality symbol. This is the end of lesson 1-5.